So how do we get set up for this Wi-Fi hacking? So in order to detect and connect to Wi-Fi networks with our virtual machine or our Kali Linux machine, we're going to need to use an external USB Wi-Fi adapter. The one that's in your laptop is most likely not going to work. So what you're going to need to do is actually go ahead and purchase a USB Wi-Fi adapter. If you check out the resources section here, and also I have it attached in the building out your lab section, I'm going to give you a recommended USB adapter, the one that I'm using, so that you can go ahead and get that, and then you'll be good to go. So assuming that you have the recommended adapter, you're going to need to download the VirtualBox extension pack so that we can actually use it with our Kali Linux machine. And the link to get that is right here. So I'm going to show you guys really quick where to download it at. So you're just going to want to go to this link, let the website load, and then look right here where it says Oracle VM VirtualBox extension pack. So just download it. So click there, download it, save it. It's going to be this file right here. So once that's saved and on your computer, just double click it and it'll open up Oracle Box VM VirtualBox and then it's going to install it for you. So it's pretty quick and painless. So how do we attach this to our Kali Linux machine? So you're gonna want to open up VirtualBox VM Manager, select your Kali machine, and then click on Settings. Go to the USB settings that you see on the left there, and then you're gonna want to click the little icon with it looks like a USB on the right side with a green plus on it. So go ahead and click that and then choose your adapter that you got, and then you're just gonna hit OK. So we're gonna go through this just so that you guys can see how to do this. Okay, so I'm in VirtualBox, so I'm gonna right click, go to settings on my Kali machine. I'm going to go over to USB, and then this is already checked and enabled, so I'm just gonna hit the plus right here. So you see this is my microphone, this is my Wi-Fi card that I use on my laptop. So it's just different things that are already, plugged into the computer. So I don't have my Wi-Fi adapter plugged in yet. So what I'm going to do is click off this, and I'm actually going to plug it in, and we're going to see, what changed. So let's hit it again. So now we know that it's this Realtek 802.11n NIC card. That's exactly what we want. So it's on there, it's checked. So we're going to hit OK. And now our Kali Linux machine is set up to be able to use this adapter. And one other thing as well is that you guys might want to right click and go to settings, and then we're going to change the network setting really quick. I already have it done, so we have our first adapter right here on NAT so that we can get to the internet, because we're going to need that. But what we're going to want to do is actually add another adapter and choose the host only adapter option right there, so that we can switch to that adapter in the Kali Linux machine when we need to, and actually be able to connect to that private network with just the host and our VMs from VirtualBox. So once you do that, just hit OK, and then we're good to go. Okay, guys, so we're in our Kali Linux machine. So what we can do to check to make sure that it is detecting our USB adapter is we go up here to Devices, USB, and then in this case, it's the Realtek 802.11n NIC card. So this is what we want. So you want to make sure that that's checked. Just confirm that. So right now, if it were to be working correctly, when we do an IF config, it should show like a WLAN interface. So let's do IF config, super secret password. And with this particular adapter, you might notice that it doesn't have WLAN on there. That means that you have to install this driver first. So that's going to be our next steps. Okay, so what we need to do, like I said, is install the driver for the Alpha AWS adapter. So what we're going to need to do is execute some commands really quickly. So all we need to do is a git clone, and then clone this repository from GitHub. Then we're going to change directly to the folder, and then run a sudo command to actually install the driver. And then we'll do another if config, and we're going to see if it actually worked. Or you should see that it's now installed, and you'll be able to use it. We're going to need to install some things on our Kali machine to make sure that we can use the recommended adapter for this course. So we have to run some commands first. So the first thing you're going to want to do is the install DKMS. It stands for Dynamic Kernel Modules. It's just gonna allow us to install, different kernel modules versus the regular ones on our Kali Linux machine. And then we're gonna clone this GitHub repository, change to the directory, and then do an install of the install file. That's going to install the driver that we need for this to work. And also, if you haven't done this yet, add these 2 lines to your /etc/apt/sources.list file, and then do an apt update and then apt upgrade command, just to make sure that your Kali distribution is up to date with all the latest modules and everything. And if you run into an error like doing the first steps up here, like with DKMS and running that install file, do this, restart your computer, and then come back, and then it should work for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys kind of like the process of installing those things. Okay, so like I said before, I already had this installed, but let's just do it really quick. Install DKMS. I already have it installed. It's just gonna look and try to pull it down for you to upgrade or for you to install it. Then you're gonna want to clone this GitHub repository. So https github.com/rtl8812au, and it's just gonna clone this repository down. It's gonna copy it into the current directory, and then from there we can switch to the folder that it's creating, and then we can go ahead and run that install file. So I already have it installed, so it might shoot back an error when I do it, but just for the sake of so you guys know how to do it, go to sudo./dkms-install. So it's saying that for me, but it's already installed on mine. I could do sudo dkms status. So if you see that, don't worry. You can do the sudo dkms status, and you can see I already have this installed right there. So if you get this error, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just make sure your system's up to date, and then try it again, and then it should at least install this, and then you're pretty much good to go at that point. So what you can do is you can click up here, make sure, and so you can see that it's actually picking up wireless networks now. So if I do a sudo ifconfig, now I can see I have this WLAN interface right here. So now we're able to use our wireless adapter with our Kali Linux machine. Okay, so there's some more steps to set up to use it for our purposes. So we have to put it in monitor mode, and able to, so that we're able to detect, and hack into Wi-Fi networks. We have to put it into this monitoring mode. It's gonna allow us to, pretty much just detect networks that are in range and sniff the traffic. The Wi-Fi adapter, should be in managed mode by default. So we have to change it, just executing a few commands. We have to turn the interface off and then use airmon-ng and kill it. And then we're gonna do an IW config and change it to monitoring mode, and then bring the interface back up. So let's go do that really quickly. We're back on our Kali Linux machines. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do ifconfig WLAN 0 down. This is going to put the wireless LAN interface down, and then we're going to do airmon ng check kill, and this is pretty much going to go through and kill the networking services pretty much, and it'll stay off until you turn it back on, and we'll talk about that after this. So give that a second to do its thing, and then we're going to do IW config WLAN 0 mode monitor, and this is going to put it into monitoring mode, and then we're going to bring the interface back up with ifconfig WLAN 0 and then up. So now if you do an ifconfig, you see we have WLAN 0, and when you look at it now, when you see this here, this indicates, we know that it's in monitoring mode. So now we can use this to attack and hack into networks. One thing to note, you may have to restart the networking services because this actually, kills the networking manager. So you're not going to have access to internet when you do this. So you would just do service network manager start, but we don't really need that, for our Wi-Fi hacking purposes.